What if the person you love isn't your soulmate? You keep telling yourself every relationship has problems, that no couple is perfect, but that little voice inside won't be quiet. That moment when you feel lonely, even when they're right beside you, when their "I love you" doesn't make your heart race anymore, when you wonder if this is all there is. These aren't just normal struggles. They're signs that maybe, despite all your hope and effort, this isn't the deep, lasting love you deserve. The truth is hiding in those quiet doubts you keep ignoring, and it's time to listen. In this video, we'll explore 5 psychological signs that reveal you're not with your true soulmate. These aren't superficial complaints, they're fundamental mismatches that leave you feeling empty even when everything appears fine on the surface. And the 5th sign, it's the silent relationship killer that most people ignore until it's too late. Sign 1, you feel lonelier with them than without them. This profound loneliness creeps in slowly, like fog settling over a landscape you once knew well. It's in the way you pause before sharing exciting news, already anticipating their distracted "that's nice" before they return to their phone. It's in those restaurant dates where the silence between you grows heavier than the food on your plate, both of you pretending not to notice how much easier conversation flows with the waiter than with each other. Notice how your laughter has changed. Once free and bubbling up effortlessly, now measured and polite, or worse, completely absent. Pay attention to how you've started censoring your thoughts, editing your stories before sharing because you know they won't truly engage. That growing list of things you no longer mention. Your childhood memories, work frustrations, silly observations about your day. Because experience has taught you they'll either misunderstand or barely listen. This loneliness becomes most painful in those vulnerable moments when you desperately need connection, when you're sick, in bed, craving comfort, or facing a crisis needing support, only to find their response lacking. A soulmate should be your soft place to land, not another emotional burden to manage. Try this. For 1 week, keep track of how often you feel truly understood versus how often you feel like you're speaking to a brick wall. Sign 2, you've stopped growing. A soulmate relationship should feel like 2 trees, planted close enough to share nutrients, but with ample room for both canopies to spread wide. Instead, you might notice your branches slowly bending to avoid theirs, your roots constricting to fit the limited space they've allowed. Remember that creative writing class you loved but dropped because they teased you about it? Or how you've stopped wearing certain clothes because they made comments? These small concessions accumulate until one day you barely recognize yourself. Examine how your daily habits have changed. Do you still read the books you love, or only what they approve? Have you abandoned morning routines that centered you because they prefer sleeping in? Notice how decision-making has shifted from "what do I want" to "what will cause the least friction." This gradual self-erosion is so insidious because it happens in microscopic daily choices, like water slowly wearing down stone. Compare photos of yourself from before the relationship to now, not just how you look, but how you hold yourself, the light in your eyes, the ease in your smile. A true soulmate would make you feel more yourself, not less. Sign 3, your body and intuition are sending warning signals. Your body speaks in a language older than words, and it's constantly whispering truths your mind isn't ready to hear. That subtle flinch when they reach for you unexpectedly, the way your shoulders creep toward your ears during conversations, as if bracing for impact. Notice how you've developed little physical rituals to cope, maybe taking the long way home to delay arrival, or suddenly needing bathroom breaks when intimacy looms. Try this somatic awareness exercise. Place one hand on your heart and one on your stomach. Now think about your partner. Notice any immediate physical reactions, a tightening in your chest, queasiness in your gut, or perhaps a wave of fatigue. Our bodies react to emotional danger with the same intensity as physical threat, flooding with stress hormones even during seemingly calm interactions. Pay special attention to what happens when they're away. That lightness you feel when they leave for a weekend trip isn't just relief from routine, It's your body returning to its natural state without the constant low-grade stress of their presence. Contrast this with how you feel before reuniting. Is it eager anticipation or dread masked as butterflies? Your nervous system knows the difference between excitement and anxiety, even when your mind conflates them. Sign 4. You fantasize about being single or with someone else. These mental escapes aren't just passing thoughts. They're your subconscious working through exit strategies your waking self isn't ready to face. Maybe you find yourself browsing apartment listings just to look, or creating elaborate mental scenarios where external circumstances force a breakup, a job transfer, family obligation, so you don't have to take responsibility. Perhaps you've developed what-if crushes on coworkers or friends, not because you truly want them, but because they represent everything missing in your current relationship. The most revealing fantasies involve mundane happiness. Imagining peaceful Sunday mornings reading alone with coffee, or laughing easily with someone who actually listens. These aren't about escapism. They're about remembering what emotional safety feels like. Notice how you feel after these daydreams. If returning to reality brings a crushing weight rather than comfort, that's your inner wisdom speaking. Try keeping a fantasy journal for a week. Each time you imagine life without your partner, note the specific triggers and emotions. Patterns will emerge, showing exactly what's missing in your relationship, whether it's intellectual stimulation, emotional availability, or simply the freedom to be yourself unapologetically. Sign 5. The love feels conditional, like you're earning their affection. This is the silent killer of relationships. The exhausting dance of constantly monitoring and adjusting your behavior to maintain connection. Notice how you've developed an internal checklist. Don't talk too much about work. Laugh at their jokes even when they're not funny. Pretend to like their terrible taste in music. Each small compromise seems insignificant, but together they form a cage of inauthenticity. The most painful conditionality shows up in emotional withholding. Maybe affection disappears after disagreements until you apologize sufficiently. Perhaps they withdraw when you're succeeding at something they struggle with. Notice how you've learned to dim your light, downplaying achievements, hiding enthusiasms, making yourself smaller to avoid triggering their insecurities or indifference. Here's the ultimate test. Imagine your partner seeing your completely unfiltered self, your weird morning rituals, your unpopular opinions, your secret insecurities. Does that thought bring comfort or panic? With a soulmate, being known is the greatest relief. With the wrong person, authenticity feels dangerously vulnerable because at some level, you know their love can't withstand the real you. If this video stirred something in you, if even one of these signs hit a little too close to home, don't ignore it. That tiny voice inside you, it's not just fear or doubt. It's your truth trying to speak up. You deserve more than just making it work. You deserve a connection where you feel seen, safe, and celebrated. Not a love that drains you, confuses you, or makes you second-guess your worth. And I know questioning a relationship is hard. Maybe it feels like giving up. It's choosing yourself. It's honoring that quiet part of you that knows this isn't it. That knows there's something deeper out there, something real. If you felt something today, if even one sign made your heart sink a little, don't just scroll past. Hit that like button. It helps more people find this video, people who might need it just as much as you did. Share it with a friend who's going through something similar. Sometimes hearing the truth from someone else is what gives us the strength to listen to it in ourselves. And if you want more raw, honest content like this, where we talk about love that actually nourishes, instead of just looking good on the outside, subscribe. Join a community that believes in real love, not just the highlight reel. Now, I want to hear from you. Which sign hit the hardest? Which one felt like it was written just for you? Drop it in the comments. No judgment, just honesty, because love shouldn't leave you confused. It shouldn't make you feel small. You don't have to settle. Not today, not ever.